switching lanes. Can't fuck with lames. They like Esco, yeah, that nigga spitting flames. Yeah, that bitch, she give me brain. Yeah, she's so insane. Oops, bitch, I just built a lane. Yeah, I love my drink, I sip walking tris. And know they not the same, but I'm high as shit. Big ol' Glocky, yes, tugged. Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
They were.
The function, yeah, I don't. Yeah, everybody does. Yeah, I be thumbing all these racks, huh? Yeah, I'm a slat. Yeah, I'm a slat. I just dropped that bag, yeah, for that jack. I just dropped that bag, yeah, for that jack. For that jack. For that jack. I just dropped that bag, yeah, for that jack. I just, yeah, for that jack.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Yo, long story short, yes, I know I haven't streamed in a minute. I know I haven't streamed. I know I haven't streamed in a minute. Make sure you guys like the stream. We're gonna be checking out a whole bunch of takes on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Y'all already know I love the show. I haven't told you guys this. I've seen every single episode for the show. I love it. It's a really good show. There's only like a couple of things that I would fix, that I would feel a little bit more interested in them fixing, but that's aside the point. But yeah, how's everybody doing?
They were.
How are we doing? Hold on, give me 1 second. You doing good? You just having for new skin? PlayStation Network's down. I can't even get onto the network. But yeah, we're gonna be checking out Bad Takes. Which, by the way, I'm gonna let you guys know, if you guys haven't seen the latest episodes, y'all might want to click off, because like I saw all of the latest episodes recently, and I really do like those episodes. It's insane. If you guys haven't seen it, y'all might want to. It's gonna be weird, but like we're gonna be looking at reviews, we're gonna be looking at bad takes, and as well as potentially, I'm hoping that the servers end up getting fixed. I can't even play any games until the PlayStation server gets back. I can't either. I'm just on here just to be on here because I don't have a cover screen. But we will be checking out a lot of reviews for it, so we will vibe. I don't have a cover screen because like my cover screen is like literally my cover screen is literally like just a black screen, so I don't have a cover screen. But we are going to be checking out reviews for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So like if you guys haven't seen like the latest episodes, they are really good. Also, extra, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a minute. I think the last time I saw you was in the Spider-Man 2 streams, I think. Whatever's gone down, it sounds bad. It's an international outage. Or at least it should be an international outage. I'm not sure what's going on, but it could be. But yeah, chat, are you guys ready to get into these takes, or do you guys want? Okay, so we have Lewis Films first, because I actually do want to check out Lewis's review, because Lewis, from what I know, at least from what I saw, he said it was great. If anybody has, the show's so good. Like, I'm not even gonna glaze. There's only like a couple issues that I would fix. Also, give me 1 second. I have to give me 1 second, chat. I know this is a random stream. Give me 1 second. I know that we're taking forever to get into these takes, but we're gonna check out Lewis today too. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get Lewis Films up. We're gonna be reacting to Lewis because oh. Chat, hold on a minute. Give me a second. Literally, this is part of the main reason why, like, I didn't check. See if that works. All right, we're good. For some odd reason, I'm gonna let you guys know right now. Half of my shit is plugged. All right, we should be okay. All right. Yeah, the PS5 servers are down. But yeah, we're gonna be checking out. By the way, who here has seen the new season of Invincible yet? Who here saw that? Who saw that, by the way? Nobody cannot tell me that episode 3. We got the suit. We got the blue suit. All right, let's check out. All right, let's check out some Lewis films real quick. Let's check this one out first. I actually started watching this one before I watched the other one. Do you see me live on Twitch? Hold up. Ooh. Do you see me live on Twitch? I've mostly been playing COD, shitting on the kids, making them cry back to their mama. I haven't even seen it. Wait, can you link it? But yeah, the PS5 servers are down right now, which is insane.
Studios' hands. The first ever fully fledged Marvel-led Spider-Man. I want to start off by saying, do I think...
And by the way, this show is actually really good, but we're not gonna get into spoilers.
This is on track to be the greatest Spider-Man show.
Unless you guys want me to get into some spoilers, but like, I don't know if you guys care for the spoilers.
Ever made? No. Absolutely not. Not even close. In fact, I've got a lot of problems with the show so far. This show hasn't done anything groundbreaking. The backgrounds are actually a major issue in my opinion, and I didn't think I would take an ick for it as much as I did. The dialogue is clunky in places and misses opportunities for nuanced subtext, and the voice acting and overall performances aren't anything mind-blowing. But you know what? The show gets Spider-Man in a way that I don't think we've seen for a very long time. Episodes 1 and 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man prove to the fans why Spider-Man is safest in Marvel Studios' hands. The first ever fully fledged Marvel-led Spider-Man project ever, and they give us probably one of the best characterized versions of Spider-Man ever put to screen. Lewis,
Okay.
Peter is a complete loudmouth nerd with no chip on his shoulder. What do you mean this is the best characterized version of Peter Parker to date? Wah! To that, I say, let me explain. Yes, I agree, Peter's personality isn't ripped directly from the page. It definitely has a sprinkle of modern 21st century pizzazz to it, but what I'm referring to is what's underneath the cringy schoolboy hopeless romantic personality. There's actually one scene that is doing the rounds online at the moment, and if you've seen it, you probably already knew that this is where this video was going. From episode 1, there's actually a scene which perfectly represents what Spider-Man is and what Spider-Man stands for. That's the scene where Peter stops a robber and gives the shopkeeper his money back. However, instead of sending the woman who robbed the money down to prison for blind theft, Peter actually hears her out. She tells...
By the way, let me know if you guys can hear it. Let me know if you guys can hear it. We're gonna be getting into some hot takes. I just want to watch Lewis's take.
Spider-Man and the shopkeeper that she's actually been down on her luck, and life hasn't really been good to her. She saw an opportunity and took it without even thinking. In this moment, what does Peter do? He compromises. He understands that there needs to be consequences for her actions and tells the shopkeeper that if he wants her to be sent down for her crimes, then he is more than welcome to get that justice. But Spider-Man also recommends that he let her go. After all, who isn't down on their luck every once in a while? Sounds kinda like someone else we know, doesn't it? Spider-Man in this moment is empathetic on another level that I haven't seen before in a very long time. And if I'm quite honest, it actually took me out of the episode. I was that surprised. Leading up to this, I was quietly thinking that this show is kinda mid, but I was proven hella wrong. This one scene encapsulates what Spider-Man should be, who Spider-Man should be, and how he should be represented on the big or the smaller screen. They weren't lying when they said that this show would rip the comic book page from its seam and slap it onto the silver screen. And I absolutely love it for that. This one scene has filled me with so much hope for the rest of the series and actually the other seasons that have been greenlit coming out in the next few years. This show seems like it's in a really good place to make strides forward with this character based off this one scene. Recently, in a lot of Spider-Man media, we've had huge action set-piece games like Marvel Spider-Man 2, over the top and filled to the brim with as many Spider people as you can possibly count, with shows like Marvel Spider-Man on Disney XD, and not to mention...
I will say that this show was really horrible. But I will give him credit because I will give him credit for like only like the symbiote arc, Superior. Even though Superior should have been way longer. And probably Spider Island. I know a lot of people don't like Spider Island. Spider Island's cool. It's just
Marvel Spider-Man on Disney XD, and not to mention MCU Spider-Man, which has had its fair share of the multiverse with No Way Home and potentially even Spider-Man 4, and of course all the Avengers crossovers, the Tony Stark stuff, etc. But then you have this show, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which brings the character back down to earth. Not just that, this show exposes the core of Spider-Man. This scene wasn't very action-packed. It didn't even really mean much for the overall story. It didn't really mean anything for the plot of both of the episodes. But it perfectly characterized this version of Spider-Man that we are going to follow in this show. It exposes that raw layer that we all crave to see from this character. And of course, while we're here, let's just quickly talk about, of course, Norman Osborn. We can't talk about these first two episodes without talking about Storm and Norman. And what else can I say other than I absolutely love Norman Osborn in these first two episodes. He is the most pure and utter evil menace in broad daylight that I have ever seen, and I absolutely love it. What I love about Norman here is that he's portrayed as this fearful character, someone that is not to be messed with. Not to sound ironic, but his aura aura is genuinely frightening. Most of the characters fear him. He is a well-known scientist.
You should have saw him in I don't understand. You guys should have saw him in what's the episode? There was one episode where he was legit looking yeah, that wasn't massive spoilers. It was the Turbo episode. He was looking at he was looking at the little he was actually like studying the gear that the villains were using. So it's kind of like, bruh.
Across the city. His presence is fueled by the reaction that everyone else has to hearing his name, which builds the character up way more and actually makes his presence all the more frightening. I know I mentioned that overall the performances in these first 2 episodes weren't anything groundbreaking. If there was one character that did have a standout performance in these first 2 episodes, it is Coleman Domingo as Norman Osborn. Please, I beg you, please get him in real life as Norman in the MCU immediately. I need it. I need it now. I love the way that they're slowly integrating him into the story, as if his ever-looming presence hangs over the story like a planet-sized shadow. His relationship with Peter is going to be really interesting to see play out and develop as the season goes on, and potentially even into seasons 2 and 3. Because another thing that I noticed is the more that I learn about Norman Osborn, the more I learn about this series as a whole, and just after watching those first 2 episodes, I don't think Norman Osborn is going to become the Green Goblin.
Yeah, I was like, dang. He said, get him as Norman now. Hey. He did cook these 2 episodes. He did cook.
For a very long time. I think a huge point of this show is to show the relationship, the build-up, and then the eventual downfall of Peter and Norman's relationship, and Norman going into villainy. I don't think Norman will be the...
Exactly. I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, I want that to happen like in season. Like, I want that to happen later. Like, Norman needs to be Goblin later on. Like, I'd rather say like, crazy idea. What if Peter stops working with Norman sometime later on in the show, right? Like, sometime later on. How many Normans do we need? A lot of Normans. Pause. I think that would be fair though to have Peter stop working with him. Or something like that. I think that would be cool. And that you slowly start to see him turn into the Green Goblin.
Going into villainy. I don't think Norman will be the Green Goblin this season, and I would actually be kind of surprised if he was the Green Goblin in season 2. But either way, these first 2 episodes did a brilliant job of setting all of that up for the season to come. And also quickly, while we're also here, let me touch upon the side characters, especially Nico, Lonnie, and Pearl. They're all fine, nothing extraordinary at this point in time. Peter's crush for Pearl is relatively believable, and all the characters, especially...
By the way, we're gonna get into the Tombstone. We're gonna get into Tombstone. By the way, if anybody hasn't seen if anybody hasn't seen those 3 episodes, the show's so good, bro. And this is even me glazed. I only have 2 problems with it, but it's just I like it.
Lonnie are really likable as well. I can't really say much more about these characters at this point in time. If I were to say anything, it would actually be kind of negative, because I don't think the story has justified a reason for replacing the likes of Gwen, MJ, Flash Thompson, Sally, Liz, and everyone else we know from the original comics and several other adaptations in the past. But obviously, we've still got a whole season to go in front of us, so the reason for them being a part of Peter's side cast of characters in high school will definitely be explained and developed further in the coming episodes. So I'm not really going to comment much on that at the moment, just that at this moment in time, I don't really think they've justified replacing all of the side characters at this point. I think all in all, these first 2 episodes hold the rest of the show to a decent standard. They don't blow anything out of the water by any means, but Marvel Studios, Jeff Trammell, Kevin Feige, and Brad Winderbaum clearly understand Spider-Man and what he's meant to represent, which only gets me more excited for future episodes to come.
Yep. That was W video. Did you end up watching Kraven the Hunter? Yeah, I ended up watching Kraven the Hunter. I will say that it's actually, I will say The story's really good, but there's only like a couple of areas where I feel like it falls flat. Mainly, here's the thing. I'll say this about the Craven movie. It was garbage. The only thing good, well, like his name's Craven the Hunter, so it's like, who are you hunting? Why are you a good guy? Like, why are you fighting the rhino? But I will say, though, at least it's better than Venom 3. I will say that it's better than Venom 3. And I will say that it's better than Venom 3 because Venom 3 made Noah look like an idiot. Well, not, my bad. It made Toxin completely pointless. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that movie. They character assassinate everything. They character assassinate both Eddie. Well, hold up. They character assassinate Eddie. They made Noah like an idiot. They contradict the main rules of. They contradict and they pretty much. They contradict the main rule that was in Venom 1. And they made Toxin look like a weakling. And the main reason why I'm saying that a character assassinates Eddie is for this reason. Eddie is surprised that he killed someone. And Venom's like, no, it was self-defense. And I'm like, why are we having this? Why are you two having this conversation? Like, are we just gonna ignore that you literally killed Riot? Are we just gonna ignore that you literally killed Riot? Are we gonna ignore that you willingly let? Are we just gonna ignore that you willingly killed Cletus? So it's okay if Venom does it, but it's not okay if you do it. You're in control, and it's very clear that you wanted to kill these two people, and you just yank that away. That's my issue with Venom 3. Venom 2 literally had so much potential with Carnage. Venom 1 was good. But there's just multiple problems. Like the Xenophage. Like, for example, like the Xenophages. Xenophages are looking for the Codex, right? Noel's looking for the Codex, and he sends Xenophages to Earth, right? All Eddie has to do here's the thing. Like, especially... There's one scene I can use as a really good example. It's literally the scene where he meets up with Mrs. Chen at the casino, and as soon as Venom comes out and starts dancing, the Xenophage immediately gets us, like pretty much as soon as the Xenophage sees the freaking Codex, Venom's lit up like a freaking main target or something. He's basically lit up like a freaking... I don't want to use Rudolph as an example because Rudolph is goated. The Xenophage has just run away. He can't see it. Why is he still in the building? That's literally like my main thing with that. Like, why is the Xenophage right there? He should, like, as soon as the Xenophage finds out that there's no Codex in the area, all he saw was the Codex in that exact area. The moment that Venom goes back or changes back, he should be like, wrong place. I don't know where it went. I'm here for no reason. Like, the whole entire plot for that movie could easily just be avoided if he just stays Venom. I mean, if he just stays Eddie, my bad.
Ready to tackle your debt?
Alright, after this one, we're actually going to be looking at more stuff for Friendly Neighborhood, and after we're going to get into bad takes.
We can help.
Because there's a lot.
A Stretch Financial Wellness Vision subscription.
Unless you guys want me to go ahead and get into the bad takes right now. Because, like, there are a lot that there's a lot that we could go over. I don't know how Kraven will take on Dima. No, that's the end of the Sonyverse for now.
Can help you visualize
Your friendly neighborhood
I just call Dima Chameleon because Dimitri is pretty much he's just called Chameleon.
Spider-Man episodes 3 to 5 came out this Wednesday, and they impressed me a lot. Now, some of you will look at that title and think, come on, Lewis, that's way too early to call. And yes, you are right, but from what we've seen, the potential that this show has, I think personally has
Yeah, Chameleon's Kraven's brother. Dima is just his nickname that he uses for Dimitri in the movie.
second to none. Everything in this show has built towards in these first 5 episodes.
Alright, after this, we're gonna get into bad takes.
Gives me a lot of hope not only for the rest of the season to come, but also makes me wholeheartedly understand why they have already renewed this for seasons 2 and 3. But why? Why do I think this potentially could go on to be the best Spider-Man show we've ever seen? Let's talk about it. During my video for the first 2 episodes of the show, I said they were nothing groundbreaking.
Yep.
The dialogue and pacing was clunky in a few places, and they played it generally safe. Spider-Man and Peter Parker didn't stand out from the rest of the movies and shows that we've
Oh wait, chat question. How are we feeling about Harry? I actually really do like this version
safe.
of Harry.
Spider-Man and Peter Parker didn't stand out from the rest.
If y'all don't know, this version of Harry actually is a really cool dude. I really do like the show so far. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This version of Harry is really cool. But we'll talk about that issue later on whenever we get to the bad takes and stuff like that. Because there's only one thing that I can say about this. I feel like Harry should have not known, and this is not even. I feel like Harry should not have found out that Peter's Spider-Man this early. I feel like he shouldn't. Because I just feel like that was just. I feel like that was just. I mean, I can understand where he's coming from. I can understand it caught him off guard and everything, but it's one of those things where it's you should have found out in probably season 2. But
of the movies and shows that we've gotten about this character in the past. But I can now confidently say that any of those criticisms have been firmly squashed in these 3 episodes.
Oh yeah, in the show he's gonna be swapping suits around a lot because in the first one that's his homemade suit. The suit that you're seeing is his homemade. This suit right here is his homemade suit, and it's actually really smart too.
Confidently say
because he has web fluid, he has web fluid with him when he fights, so it's one of those things to where it's kind of that's a really smart idea.
Say that any of those criticisms.
This is homemade. Well, this is this version. Well, this is this version of Peter's homemade suit, so it's gonna swap up every time. So that's entirely different from Spider-Man 2 game. It does.
Criticisms have been firmly squashed in these 3 episodes. It almost felt like the show needed an episode or 2 to find its footing. The dialogue flows.
By the way, spoilers. By the way, he did give Future Foundation later on in the show because they were trying out because Norman was having him try out different suits.
A lot smoother, the pacing is on point, and the show really feels like it's found its rhythm of style. But the first major point of improvement, and one of my favourite aspects of these 3 episodes in particular, is Peter Parker himself. Peter in the first 2 episodes seemed like your average 21st century modernized Peter Parker. There wasn't much special about him that I couldn't get out of the MCU version of the character, or Spectacular Spider-Man, or literally any other version of the character at all. However,
we really can't diss Spectacular. Spectacular is amazing.
However, in these 3 episodes, Peter's character expanded exponentially. The showrunners and writers are consistent with his character and the themes that surround his story. He is just a kid who wants to do the right thing. In the first 2 episodes, I made a big deal out of this scene where Peter stops this lady from robbing a store, but instead of sending her down, he gives her a second chance. That kind of generosity and belief in people rather than justice is what really sets this version of Spider-Man apart from any of the others, but also simultaneously brings him closer to his comic book counterpart. I was kind of worried that this would be a one-time occurrence, that they threw this in here at the start of the show to just show us what kind of character Peter Parker is, and then just move on. But no, this is actually a consistent theme throughout these episodes, and is even subtly becoming one of Peter's major internal struggles. Here are just some of the other few examples that I found in these few episodes. When Rhino and his gang were on the run in episode 4, Peter decided to stop chasing them so he could save the civilians instead. It seems like such an obvious choice, but you'd be surprised with how many pieces of Spider-Man media has Peter then chased the actual criminals instead of saving the civilians. TASM 2 being a major example. In that opening, Rhino, once again, is actually causing havoc in New York City, and a massive criticism at the time of that film was that Peter never really even acknowledged the civilians that probably died during this rampage. But here, that's completely different. Another example is when Peter was first offered to work with Norman.
Actually, we don't even know if he's
In
subscribing.
episode 3, his first
By the way, there is a bad take that I will be debunking. I just want to go over Lewis's review first, because, you know.
first response was that it might put him or any of his Oscorp employees in danger. This one was particularly interesting, as I don't think I've ever seen a Spider-Man show or movie tackle Peter's internal conflict on this level before. Peter's internal struggle when it comes to his identity usually surround people that he loves, like Aunt May or his friends or Mary Jane or whoever. But here, Peter is thinking about Norman Osborn, a man that he's only really met once or twice, and all of his Oscorp employees. Now, obviously, this is exactly how Spider-Man should be, but I was really surprised that they tackled it on this level. This show understands Spider-Man to its very core, and these episodes are building upon a strong foundation in the best way possible. But it wasn't just Peter's character that I was impressed with. In fact, there was another major character in these 3 episodes that jumped out at me particularly. 2 words. You already know, it's Lonnie Lincoln. Where do I start with this guy? Lonnie's character in this show is so excellently written. Lonnie at the start has it all. He's smart, he's the captain of the football team, he's got great friends, he's got a girlfriend, and he's got a loving family. But because of a turn of events which sees Lonnie trade his brother's place in a gang for himself, he is now on his downfall to becoming Tombstone. There are 2 major reasons why I think this story is absolutely perfect for this show. Number 1, the originality. If Lonnie's story has proven anything, it's that comic accuracy doesn't have to be adhered to for something to be technically brilliant in adaptation.
Right.
Lonnie's story so far is...
This story, bro, whenever I told you, like, I thought that he was going to be Flash Tom. I thought he was going to be, like, this alternate universe. There's a whole bunch, I don't know, it seems like it's an MCU alternate timeline, and I'm just going to say that. It seems like whenever it's MCU alternate timeline, especially with this show, it works. I thought he was going to be the Flash of this verse. I thought it was going to be the Flash in the show. Like, I was like, nah, he can't be the Flash in the show, because I was like, nah, that doesn't make any sense. And I got spoiled. Keep in mind, like, I got spoiled before I even watched the first episode. And I was like, hold up. Tombstone? I was like, oh, this is going to be... I was like, oh, no. And I don't even know how he's going to actually be Tombstone. I see episode 5. That ending is fire. So that means that him and Peter are going to end up fighting. I can see... I'm going to be honest. I see that happening. Because, like, Scorpion's in here, and spoilers by the way. The spoilers by the way. He in the show he got the name Tombstone by tackling Scorpion, by saving his gang leader from getting stabbed by Scorpion, or not Scorpion yet, but Matt Gargan. So it's kind of like.
Is probably the best of any characters in the entire show, and that's 100% down to the art created by Jeff Trammell and the writing team. They took the Tombstone character and fleshed him out, creating something special and beautifully tragic. And while we're quickly on this point, I also want to point the same applause to what they're doing with Matt Gargan, Camilla Black, and the Scorpion Gang as well. That's also really cool and really original. And on to my second point. Spider-Man side characters are never as fleshed out as this. Lonnie's story is actually rather refreshing in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and that's because I believe most Spider-Man side characters in movies and shows, especially for the last 10 years or so, haven't gotten nearly as much attention as they probably deserve. This goes mostly for the MCU movies. In fact, I'd say it probably 90% does go for the MCU movies, where a massive criticism of these films is that a lot of the high school side cast are majoritively two-dimensional filler characters. At a push, they might involve something closer to the main conflict like Liz from Homecoming, as of course she was Adrian Toomes' daughter. However, apart from that example, a lot of the side characters from Peter's high school in the MCU Spider-Man movies have really just kind of fell flat. Anything interesting they could have done with MJ or Flash or even Ned, they didn't really do. In fact, I'm pretty sure they even cut scenes that added more depth to these characters. However, when it comes to Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, they do not shy away from this. Lonnie Lincoln trumps absolutely everyone in this show so far. He is so brilliantly written, and I couldn't give any more applause to this character. And it only gets me more excited for the depth that they may end up bringing to other characters like Nico, Pearl, Cho, Harry, etc. Speaking of Harry, that was an interesting twist.
Yep.
I know there will be some people out there that really don't like.
That was actually a really good twist.
It was an interesting twist. Nico, Pearl, Cho, Harry, etc. Speaking of Harry, that was an interesting twist. I know.
Yeah, like Norman was like, "Hey, yo!" Peter came through that window with his mask off. He's like, "Hey, yo, chill." He was like, "Yo." Like, here's the thing. Like, Norman came through. Like, how can I put this? In the show, yeah, Peter and Norman are working together. Norman knows that Peter's Spider-Man. He's helping him out with suits and stuff like that, and Peter just comes in with his mask off and is like, "Hey, yo, chill." There's oh yeah, I'm already planning to do a debunk video for that. I'm gonna do that live anyways. I might as well go ahead and do it live. Yeah, I'm down to do it.
I know there will be some people out there that really don't like the idea of Harry Osborn being the guy in the chair, but
I like the idea. It's a really cool switch up.
since this show emulates the MCU's timeline of events, especially when it comes to the Sokovia Accords, and pretty much relating everything back to the MCU, it was only a matter of time.
And by the way, I know that some people are gonna ask me, where does this version of Spider-Man scale to? At the most, he's gonna scale to probably Tom Holland.
Before we had a character replaced what Ned was in the MCU. Harry finding out that Peter is Spider-Man is an interesting dynamic, and I'm curious to see where it will lead. Low-key, at first, I kinda hoped that Harry not knowing Peter was Spider-Man would have elevated Norman's motive to keep Peter and his partnership a secret.
Yeah, I thought that too for a second. I am gonna be reacting to that, Overlord, yes.
But they've probably got something else in the pipeline that's just as good. And I can't wait to see how this conflict unfolds and the way that this relationship develops. And of course, we can't talk about this show and these 3 episodes in particular without talking about, of course, Norman Osborn and Peter Parker's relationship. These two have chemistry on levels I never expected. They steal the show anytime they are on screen, and personally, I think out of any character relationships in this show, they are written the best. Norman is fantastically terrifying, whilst also exerting levels of charming charisma, which is exactly how Norman Osborn should be.
Right.
However, one thing that I will say is that I think Norman's motivation for helping Peter be Spider-Man seems kind of weak. Yeah, Peter saved Harry from a gang and also saved him from a moving truck,
Yeah.
but that doesn't really give Norman the reason to help Spider-Man throughout his entire career. It doesn't really make
Are you gonna
much
finish Spider-Man
sense.
2
But I'm
again?
not saying this as a
Yeah.
criticism because I wholeheartedly believe
The only downside
this is
the only downside is that I bought Spider-Man 2 digitally, so I can't play it. Because if I play it, then wait, hold up. Hold up. It's the PSN. Hold up. Can someone let me know if the PlayStation Network's back up and running? Because like even I don't know that yet.
done on purpose. Norman is definitely hiding something, and I reckon his real reason for wanting to work with Peter will come to the forefront towards the end of the season. We know Norman Osborn is a shady guy, we know he will eventually become the Green Goblin,
Yep.
so of course this is going to lead somewhere deeper than it already is at the moment. Okay,
Actually, that could be a very interesting. Ooh, because like Harry's not gonna know who it is. actually, that could be a really cool thing because like Norman would already know like all the stuff concerning that he's also well was or also because Norman said in the show. Spoilers again. There's gonna be probably a lot of spoilers because like this show's really good. You know, like, the spoilers are amazing for the show. Pause. No pun intended. But like the spoilers. Norman is working with Peter to find out his abilities, to figure out a way to counter him, and to figure out how to actually go through with the suit. Because the suit has a lot of stuff in there. Seeing it's a modern version of Spider-Man, so he probably knows how Peter moves, how to counter it. He's trying to look for countermeasures, I guess, before he becomes Goblin. And Peter's there. Exactly. That's what I think is gonna happen. Because like I really do think that's a possibility. Because like Harry's not gonna let's say like Norman's gone, he's Goblin. Let's say like Peter's fighting Green Goblin, he doesn't know that it's Norman. And Harry's gonna be like, who is that? And you just got beaten by Goblin. And he's gonna be like, who is that? And Peter's gonna be like, I have no idea, but he somehow in some way knew everything about my moveset. Is MJ in the show? MJ's not in the show right now because as far as like we're in season 1, so it seems like Nico is going to be Peter's MJ, or at least it's Peter's MJ, but it seems like you have Peter, you have Harry, and Nico is his MJ. They should add Gwen. They might add Gwen. I would like to see Gwen.
Okay, so I've spoken so fruitfully about the show so far, so let's move on to some of the things that maybe I'm not a fan of. Despite some of the side characters being really good, and some of the best side characters we've seen in Spider-Man media for over a decade, I don't really see the point of Nico Minoru. Yes, I get it, this show wants to be different in places to separate itself from the MCU where it can. And that's completely fine. And don't get me wrong, that is working with Lonnie Lincoln. As I mentioned,
Yeah,
I think his character is really well written. But I don't really see the point in Nico Minoru. I don't think this decision is working at this moment in time. She's holding baggage, and generally I think she's got potential to be an interesting character, but they're not giving me any reason at the moment for her just to not be Mary Jane Watson. If you're going to replace Peter's actual cast of high school side characters with different characters, especially ones that are already firmly established in the Marvel Universe, then give us a good reason as to why. Nico, at this moment in time, is filling the exact role that Mary Jane Watson would have played if she was in this show. So I need something a little more from her. Now, obviously, it's early days, and a lot of the show has focused on Lonnie Lincoln up until this point, so maybe Nico's time is to come. We've also got to maybe consider the point that they're saving MJ and Gwen and the like for future seasons, potentially even when Peter is in college, like they did in the comics.
They already have Dr. Connors in the show, but a lot of people were complaining about Connors.
And I know it's such a small nitpick, but I can't look past the fact that this is the role that MJ would have played. Now, of course, Nico's character could go on to do great things, and I'm sure she will. But at this moment in time, that's just how I feel. The next thing that I'm not a fan of, and could actually change in the future, is actually Aunt May. Aunt May is a massive part in Peter's life, and I feel like she's being underutilized in this show. I know that there's a lot going on in this story. We've obviously mentioned Lonnie Lincoln, Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn. They're even doing some stuff with Nico, and of course all the gang stuff as well going on. Not to mention Otto Octavius is also a big part of this show now going forward, so there isn't much time for Aunt May. But I don't want this show to end up forgetting about her altogether. Peter is still in high school.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Overlord, can you send me that video?
And Aunt May is a massive part of his life at this point in the comics, and since Uncle Ben has only recently passed, there definitely should be more emphasis on her at this moment in time. But just like Nico, maybe that's to come in the next 5 episodes or so. Yep. So I won't weigh my thoughts on that too heavily at this moment in time. I'll kind of revisit this point when the show actually ends. Apart from that, this show is fantastic, and I can't wait for the next few episodes. Subscribe to the channel to catch my next review video.
That was also a W video. Lewis is goated. All right, let's check out. Let me actually see. I'm actually going to Rift's latest video.
And
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. All right, let me go to High C's video.
It's actually
Go down to the description. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I
And
was
if
already
they
watching
did-
this video, and I was actually planning to do a debunk for this. Well, I guess I'm live, so I might as well should do a debunk. All right. So let's see what he is to see. All right, so the end of Spider-Man.
So, I'm a bit late to the party on this one, but your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the brand new upcoming animated TV show, has had a few trailers and teasers released. And to no one's surprise, it looks like total garbage. Just from searching around YouTube, you'll find people acting shocked to how crappy and how woke it looks.
Have you seen the show? Have you watched it? I don't understand. How is it woke? Have you watched it?
But I'm not really going to be one of those people who acts like this is some new concept. The harsh truth is, Spider-Man has kind of been ruined for years. And we've all kind of been coping and wishing in the back of our mind that Spider-Man returns to his former glory.
Hey. Petey's always been a bit clumsy.
You know me, clumsy Petey Parker. Just consider it a good deed from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's me, by the way. I'm Spider-Man.
wrong.
So I will get to how bad your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man looks in a second. But first, I'm gonna have to address that this issue with Spider-Man is nothing new. So you could ask yourself, when did all the troubles start for Spider-Man? Was it when Tom Holland took over? Or when the Spider-Verse movies came out? Or when in the comics, Peter Parker was turned into a literal cock? But unfortunately, it does go before that. So I do respect Andrew Garfield's portrayal of Peter Parker, especially in The Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. But the problems we're facing now date back to that movie. I'm all about comic accuracy, and Andrew Garfield's movies failed in that department a lot. Even though we got to see Peter Parker sporting a goddamn Ramones t-shirt, I still think that his portrayal wasn't the best. But the real issue wasn't Andrew Garfield or the changes to the character's design. Instead, it was the race swap that we let go under the radar. In The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Jamie Foxx plays Electro, and no matter what way you look at it, this race swap cannot be justified. You could say that Electro is just a small character, he's a villain for Spider-Man to face. It doesn't matter what race he is.
You do know that Jamie Foxx was there to play a character, right? You do know that Electro was made to play a character, like explain. Please explain. Please explain. If anything, they gave Electro a really interesting arc, like him feeling invisible, and Spider-Man plays into that. Like we see him obsessed with like we see him like he wants to be noticed just like Spider-Man. Or he wants to be noticed just like Andrew Spider-Man. So whenever we get to that fight in Midtown, he's being seen, but the city sees him destroying the city and sees him as a problem. And he blames Spider-Man for that. Again, how is this a problem?
Exactly. So why change it? The other argument you might see when it comes to race swaps is, well, if the writing is good, I don't care. Well, it didn't do that either, because he was literally the worst part about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And that's the
I literally just went over this point, but he wasn't. Alright.
thing. A lot of people didn't actually mention it, or talk about it, or call it out. And if they did, then maybe these race swaps wouldn't have continued. I don't know, maybe I'm just hoping for a better world where the
And also another thing, hold up.
fans might have...
And also another thing too with Electro is by that logic, Andrew's Spider-Man takes a lot of stuff from the Ultimate Comics and the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show, Electro is literally comic accurate in those. Like literally, like the color of Electro does not matter. Electro is blue in the Ultimate Comics, and he's also blue in the Ultimate Spider-Man show. What does a race swap have to do with that? What does Jamie what does Jamie like again? What does a race swap have to do with that? Oh, we're definitely in Electro Pursuit.
Stood up and said something, but really, would it have made a difference? Because the people who own these corporations like Marvel and Disney and Fox aren't really the best people. Now, we won't talk too much about that because that's an entirely different video, but it does have to be addressed that people who agree with me are fighting a losing battle because they're going up against these companies that are run by people who want to bring in race swaps, who want to eradicate the wholesomeness and the hopefulness of superheroes. And that brings us to the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, which every single one of them is garbage. There literally isn't one good film out of the trilogy. And if you thought The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was bad, Tom Holland's movies ramped it up to 11. And from the first one, Homecoming, there's already 3 race swaps that I can name off the top of my head. With Peter's best friend, which instead of being Harry Osborn, is Ned Leeds. You know, like the hobgoblin guy? The white guy. He's not some big fat Samoan dude or whatever the hell he is. So that's one. You have Liz Allen, which is the love interest of Homecoming.
Granted for Ned Leeds. Leeds was different in, I think, Spectacular. And now he's going to be talking about Liz Allen. Okay, here we go.
Which I do respect, because if you read the original comics, Liz Allen was Peter Parker's first love interest before MJ or Gwen. So I do like them sticking to the source material, but oh yeah, she's black. So they're not actually sticking to the source material, because it's a total race swap for no good reason. And then we have the third race.
I'm just gonna pull up an interview from let me go ahead and pull up an interview from Spectacular Spider-Man or one of the reviews. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and see if I can find that. How would that work for modern New York? Please explain. How would that work for modern New York? Again, it's not modern New York, so like explain to me how that would work. It can't. And majority of people who haven't even seen the 90s series and half the people that haven't read the comics literally know this version of Liz. Apparently he's calling Friendly Neighborhood woke. Again, like, this doesn't make any sense here. Like, again, like, most of the people literally know.
Webbing up Sandman once and
Hey, Petey. Nice moves here.
Literally, most people know this version of Liz more, because more people literally grew up with Spectacular. Again, you can't use that as an argument. It doesn't work for modern day New York. It doesn't work for modern day New York. You can't really use that argument.
Swap, which is the worst of them all. You have MJ, which was once this great character that helped Peter throughout the years as a girlfriend, then a wife that helped him, was literally the center point of Kraven's Last Hunt. Now she's
okay.
Zendaya.
Okay. Question here. It's been a minute since I read Kraven's Last Hunt, but she was literally the focal point. Yeah, but she also knew that Peter didn't come home. And she also could tell that Kraven was in the suit. She literally has intuition to know when Peter is not Peter, or to know when someone in a Spider-Man costume is not Peter. That's how strong that relationship is. I'm completely lost.
Kraven's Last Hunt. Now she's Zendaya.
if she was the focal point, she was not one of the focal points. Last time I checked, it was mostly Craven that was the focal point of it, because Craven's it's literally called Craven's last time. Craven's the main focus with Peter. If anything, MJ went out looking for Peter.
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, Zelda? Zendaya's MJ isn't actually called Mary Jane Watson. Zendaya's MJ is literally called Michelle Jones Watson. An original character made for the MCU. Oh my gosh.
I don't think I have to say much more. Zendaya looks like a 12-year-old boy who lives in the slums of Brazil or something. She doesn't look
Okay, do you have proof?
the way Mary Jane Watson should look. Just look at any illustration of the character. John Romita Sr., Todd McFarlane, or the controversial but still great J. Scott Campbell. MJ does not look like Zendaya, and they do everything they can in all three of these movies to separate her from the original character.
Rewind that for a second. Did I hear this correctly? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on a minute. Let me hear this right out. Because, like, even I need to hear this real quick. Hold on.
Of the character. John Romita Sr., Todd McFarlane, or the controversial but still great J. Scott Campbell. MJ does not look like Zendaya, and they do everything they can in all three of these movies.
I mean, that's because she's not supposed to. Zendaya's MJ is literally, like I said before, Michelle Jones Watson. There's a different universe, different Earth. The MCU is Earth. Yeah, exactly. It's Earth 616. The code of it, since there's a bunch of 16s. That's the reason. There's a bunch of 616s. They call it Earth 1999. Exactly.
To separate her from the original character. She's just this ugly bitch going around punching people in the nuts.
So is Emma Stone like Gwen Stacy from the comics? Because, like, I don't remember Emma Stone's Gwen being like Gwen from the comics. Like, I don't remember her working at Oscorp cooking up a lizard cure.
Making smart comments towards everybody in the film. That is not Mary Jane Watson, yet none of the fans called it out.
Complaining about Ultimate MJ. The Spider-Man movies, MJ was so far. Exactly. So it's kind of like, why is it?
Then there's the Spider-Verse movies that I could do a full hour-long video on about how retarded they are. Miles Morales is not a good character. None of the films are good. Stop overrating them. And as a little side note, let's look into the people who made it and...
Okay, cool. Can you prove? Okay, wait, hold up. Okay, prove. Okay, cool. Can you prove that the Spider-Verse movies aren't good? Can you prove that Miles isn't an interesting character? Like, nothing about the writing for the movies, like...
None of the films are good. Stop. Miles Morales is not a good character. None of the films are good.
What makes him not a good character?
Stop overrating them. And as a little side note, let's look into the people who made it. And one of them is a guy called, I don't know, Randy or Rodney Rothman. And he believes that Peter Parker is Jewish.
What was that? Hold up. What was that one thing from Metal Gear? What was that line? What was that line whenever Raiden meets up with Senator Armstrong? Like, this is all I'm hearing. Give me a second, because like all I'm hearing is this.
There are a few things you need to.
That's a nice.
What was that one line from Metal Gear? Hold on.
Shut up! That's why your mama dead.
Oh, pause, not that one. I use that one for like my debunk video sometimes.
That's a nice argument, Senator.
I meant this one, my bad. Don't use that one.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Hello.
Once again, stay away from comic books and these characters. Stop injecting your own personal crap onto these characters. Peter Parker is not Jewish just because you are. And that's all these
Let me go back and reread that article again real quick. Because like even I want to know this. Hold on. I'm going to rewind it.
crap onto these characters. Peter
Well, let me rewind that again. Because like literally like even I'm very lost.
is Jewish.
Someone send me the timestamp because like I literally want to. I need to know this. Someone send me the timestamp. Or put it in the chat. Someone send me the timestamp in the chat. It's like. Like, is there like his whole entire argument is literally just. It's the world's stupidest argument.
And he believes that Peter Parker is Jewish.
Hello.
Once again, stay away from comic books and these characters. Stop injecting your own personal crap onto these characters. Peter Parker is not Jewish just because you are. And that's all these people want to do. They want to make
The whole entire point of Spider-Man is literally anybody in like the thing is about Spider-Man is that he's fully covered. So that pretty much goes against that because like literally anybody can believe that they are Spider-Man or anybody can see themselves as Spider-Man because he is fully covered.
make Spider-Man black. They want to make MJ some ugly, racially ambiguous person. And all of that bullcrap brings us up to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And just take a look at it for yourself.
Somebody help me! He's running, grab him! Gotcha! I thought it was Dan Meat.
So Harry Osborn is some black tranny.
Again, I'm gonna ask this question. Did you watch it? Did you watch it? Because last time I checked, Harry is a dude. Again, I asked, did you watch the show?
And Norman Osborn is also black, and Peter Parker, instead of being the character that Steve Ditko and Stan Lee originally envisioned him as, is now a soy boy that is almost more similar to an anime protagonist. I'm not even gonna give this.
And he's also using that word too, which is wild. Again, Harry is still very popular in the show. Like, again, in episode 5, people, literally, the whole entire city knows who he is.
He envisioned him as is now a soy boy that is almost more similar to an anime protagonist. I'm not even going to give this show my time. Why would you even talk about this? The show is a dumpster fire. 2 people are going to watch it. It's going to get cancelled after a season, and then we're all going to go back to living our lives.
It seems like more people are watching the show, actually. Again, I asked, did he watch the show? Again, I'm gonna ask this. Did you watch it? Did you watch it? Did you watch it? Because, if I can remember correctly, yeah, they're already making a season 2 and a season 3. People want more. How old is Randy Revengeance? I don't know.
Spider-Man is not Andrew Garfield. Spider-Man is not Tom Holland. Spider-Man is not Miles Morales.
Again, they're all Spider-Man, so I guess that means that Toby is not Spider-Man, Andrew's not Spider-Man. So I guess by that logic, that means that again, anybody. I literally went over this argument. Anybody can be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is not whatever the hell this is. Spider-Man is the original comics, video games, cartoons, and
I'm lost. He's my brain. He made my brain. My brain's completely gone after this. Have you seen the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer? Yes. I like every single one of the casting except for who they have playing Johnny Storm.
And the excellent Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy with the
Wait. So wait. Let me rewind this.
Spider-Man is not Miles Morales. Is not Andrew Garfield. About this. The show is a dumpster fire. 2 people are going to watch it. It's going to get cancelled after a season, and then we're all going to go back to living our lives. Spider-Man is not Andrew Garfield. Spider-Man is not Tom Holland. Spider-Man is not Miles Morales. Spider-Man is not whatever the hell this is. Spider-Man is the original comics, video games, cartoons, and the excellent Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy with the
his own argument goes against hold up, your own argument goes against that, because by that logic You just said that Andrew's not Spider-Man, Tom's not Spider-Man, Miles is not Spider-Man. So by that logic, you literally said that you like the that you like the Sam Raimi movies. Doesn't that also go against your argument? So technically, doesn't that mean that Toby isn't Spider-Man?
Best portrayal of Peter Parker on screen. Notice how although Sam Raimi might be of a certain religious or ethnic background, he doesn't try to inject it onto Spider-Man. Because it's a character that you're working off of, that you're adapting from a comic book. You don't come in and go, oh wait, I'm this in real life, so now the character has to be that also. And that's why I'm kind of hopeful, and I don't really care. Because who is actually going to watch this? It's going to die out like all the other products that these companies are putting out. And maybe in the coming times, the entire world can wake up and reject this, so we don't have to be subjected to it over and over. Because trust me, that will happen. We will get to a point where these companies can't afford to put out shows and movies like this because they're not going to make money off of them. So stay away from this modern tripe. Don't give your time to these corrupt producers, companies and directors. And go back and read some of the great comics of Spider-Man. And if you
I'm so all right. My brain's completely broken after this. Andrew is the most accurate. I know Andrew is the most accurate.
If you got a problem with that, go complain to your boyfriend.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. Well, let's go on to the next bad thing. Yeah, that's the reason why I got lost. I'm waiting for more else to add Human Torch and Gambit and Deadpool. They're gonna add Deadpool. Deadpool's in the game. Oh, and by the way, do y'all want to check out I know I already checked it out, but like, do you guys want to check out the Fantastic Four First Steps again, or no?
There are a few things.
Bro, I swear, I also gotta really fix my headphones this week. That was, wow. I have, yeah, the chances of that being turned, by the way, chat, the chances of that being turned into a video might actually happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's check this out. Like I said, my only issue is literally, like I said, chat, my only issue is the person that they have playing Johnny Storm. That's my only issue, is the person they have playing Human Torch is literally my only problem.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
I mess with the Baxter Building.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. Okay.
guys should have saw it. You should have saw how many people were happy that the Thing was wearing clothes.
Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
See, this is my issue. I don't see Joseph Quinn as human. I just don't. I know that's a crazy take. I just don't. As crazy as that sounds, I would like the dude from Outer Banks more if he was in this movie. Because, you know, he matches Human Torch's personality and stuff perfectly. Like, he gives him that aura to him. But, like, they're gonna have to cook.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
And I know that someone's gonna tell me this right now, and I know for a fact that someone's probably gonna clip this part. This looks like straight from Rise of the Silver Surfer. I know that someone's gonna tell me it doesn't, but it looks like it's ripped straight from it. At least in terms of camera angle. But like that's just... And we finally get a Galactus without smoke. Finally a Galactus without any sort of smoke around him. That I like.
As a family.
But I do mess with the music that they have. I do mess with the music that they got cooking at the end. I do mess with the suits. I just don't like. I do mess with the suits. The suits are cool. I would say like they're okay, but I like the Marvel Rivals look more, or at least the blue and black. But I will let them cook. We're definitely nice, man. I feel like at least like hold on, let me look up more. Like, I'm going to be one of those people. I actually do like the way that they look in Marvel Rivals. Or at least, like, give them the suits. You know, because, like, eventually, like, I really do, I really do think they're going to end up like this. At some point. They're going to end up getting these suits. I do think that that's possible. They will end up getting these suits. Bro, here's the thing. July is gonna be cooked. Superman and this. Because I can tell you right now that I am seeing Superman. Oh yeah, I still have to get the cap skin. That is if the PlayStation Network gets fixed. Which I hope the PlayStation Network gets fixed sometime soon. Because, like, I really need to get back on Marvel Rivals right now. But I can't. Wait, Chad, is there another bad take? Hold on. Sorry, Chad, I was responding to something. But yeah, that was that was an insanely bad take. I know this is like a short stream today and everything like that, but I will have to end up going because like I know it's a short stream today, and yeah, also the Super Bowl's tomorrow, so like I'll be streaming if the if the PlayStation Network can come back on, then I will be streaming Uncharted Lost Legacy tomorrow. If the PlayStation Network comes back on. That is if the PlayStation Network can come back on. But yeah, chat. This is a W stream today. I know it's a short stream. But yeah, chat. Oh, and by the way, let's hope that PlayStation gets this fixed, because like literally, like, I don't know what happened. Like, it's been apparently, oh, and by the way, chat, before I go, apparently we might not be able to play PSN Network for like a month. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Actually, hold on a minute. I need my music. No, give me 1 second. I need my music.
I be dumping all these rags high. Yeah, I'm a slap.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm a slap. I just dropped that
I'll see you guys later.
for that jack.
Peace.
I just dropped that bag, yeah, for that jack. I'm in the game switching lanes. Can't fuck with lames. They like Esco, yeah, that nigga spitting flames. Yeah, that bitch, she give me brain. Yeah, she's so insane. Oops, bitch, I just spilled the lane. Yeah, I love my drink, I sip walking tris. And know they not the same, but I'm high as shit. Big ol' Glocky, yeah, it's tugged. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. In the function, yeah, I don't. Yeah, everybody dog. Yeah, I be dumping all these rags high. Yeah, I'm a slap. Yeah, I'm a slap. I just dropped that bag, yeah, for that jack. I just dropped that bag, yeah, for that jack. For that jack. For that jack. I just dropped that bag, yeah, for that jack. I just, yeah, for that jack.